Well, Elaine, here it comes. I knew this was coming. I knew I was going to hit some roadblocks with my intended anti-drug policy, but I'm really glad you took the time to bring it forward. So, put all that aside, let's jump right into it. Looking at your comments here, I see that you asked me the question what I would do with what you called already legal drugs that can potentially devastate Canadian lives. And you're referring to alcohol and pharmaceuticals. So let me start with pharmaceuticals, and I'm going to be perfectly clear here. I have no intention of changing the way Canada deals with pharmaceuticals. First off, these are drugs, you're right, but these are drugs which are intended to aid Canadians. They're on a completely different field than everything we've seen in legal narcotics. These pharmaceuticals are meant to better and improve Canadian life, and used properly, they do so without problems. Yeah, obviously there's the opportunity for abuse, but really we've taken leaps and strides in education and monitoring to make sure that these drugs are firmly used to benefit Canadian society. So, without a question, I would not change anything about the way Canada deals with pharmaceuticals. No question about that. Second, let's look at alcohol. And alcohol is a rather interesting example because you're right, it is the source of many problems out there. It's a source of many potential abuse, it's a source of alcoholism. It opens up a whole list of problems. But alcohol is unique because it goes back to really the dawn of civilization. I mean, in a more common day note, we can look at early age Britain, where ale was a staple food product right up until the Industrial Revolution, where only then did tea start to become readily available. So, especially since Britain has given Canada many of its customs and traditions, I think even by looking at prohibition, we have found that Canada is not willing to give up a right it already deemed it has. So alcohol is firmly entrenched into Canadian traditions, Canadian livelihood, and really prohibition and the results of prohibition showed us that we can't stop alcohol. I think opening that up again, trying to give prohibition another start, another kick at the can, it'd be complete folly. So while we are unable to do anything about alcohol, I think we should take away a valuable lesson learned from that, and we have an opportunity to stop illegal narcotics before they get anywhere close to that phase. So we should take that opportunity to stop narcotics now. So let's talk about my narcotic plan. It's what you deem as similar to the war on drugs, which in your words has been a complete failure. You're suggesting my drug policy will only overcrowd prisons, waste tons of taxpayers' money, and further criminalize already marginalized groups. And I like this one, further criminalize already marginalized groups. What kind of groups are you talking about, Alain? Because I know one criminalized, marginalized group definitely comes to mind. That's organized crime. And quite frankly, I have no problem further criminalizing organized crime elements and gangs. It only takes to look around here in the Lower Mainland, for example, at the recent 6 homicides in one incident. That's 6 people dead, which the media has reported that, quite unfortunately, 2 of which happen to be innocent bystanders that were just in the wrong place at the wrong time. Now think about this for Elaine. What if that was your sister, your brother, your mother, your father, your cousin, whoever, someone you knew and cared about, that just happened to be in the wrong place at the wrong time and is now dead because of organized crime? All right? Organized crime gains its money from drugs. It gains resources from illegal narcotics, and there's no joke. There's no way to look around that. Illegal narcotics feeds organized crime, and organized crime is a very real threat to our streets. Not only do we have to look at the 6 homicides, we can look at there was another homicide in Vancouver only a few days ago, where an organized crime or a gang member was gunned down in a public restaurant. This is real lead. These are real bullets flying around that can potentially and have proven that they sometimes do hit innocent bystanders. I don't stand for that. I don't stand for organized crime fueled by illegal narcotics to be threatening Canadian society. Alright, so now let's throw all that aside. Let's put all my opinions on the matter aside. And let's say that, for a second, I accept what you're trying to say. I accept your proposal that because we don't seem to be able to defeat drugs with the recent efforts we put in, that we should just give up and let Canada figure things out for itself. Okay, we're going to call this the Alain Doctrine. And so we now have just said because narcotics, we can't seem to beat them, we're going to give up, we're going to let Canadians sort themselves out. So according to your doctrine, we've now set a precedent, a very dangerous precedent, I'm going to prove here in a second, that when it comes to issues that Canada doesn't seem to be able to solve, long-term issues, we need to just give up and let Canadians deal for themselves. So let's look at another issue that we haven't been able to solve, we haven't been able to fix despite all of our best efforts, despite countless resources that have been assigned to it, despite advances in technology, we can't seem to stop. Let's look at, say, I don't know, homicide, right? We've thrown money into police forces, we've thrown money into investigative branches, we've thrown money into making life harder for convicted persons of first and second degree murder, but despite all that, we just can't seem to stop Canadians each year from killing each other. So according to you, according to your doctrine, we should just give up. We should just let Canadians say, you know what, go ahead and kill each other because we can't stop it, we should just let you guys sort it out. Do you see the kind of precedent you set? Because I'll tell you one thing right now, that's not the Canada I stand for, Alain. Maybe it's yours, but it's definitely not mine.